Ahead of NFL free agency, we have more breaking news around the NFL. This time with the Dallas Cowboys trading for linebacker Rashan Gary from the Green Bay Packers and the Jets landing Minkah Fitzpatrick and re-signing him. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, but you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, NFL fans? Welcome back in right again to another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. It is going to be a busy day, so make sure you lock in, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel, man. Steve-O, another trade has happened prior to the start of NFL legal tampering period, which starts at 12 Eastern today. This time with the Cowboys trading for Rashan Gary and the Miami Dolphins sending away safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to the New York Jets, where they will sign him to a 3-year, $40 million contract once he gets over there. Let's start with Rashan Gary, though. He's going to be traded to the Cowboys for a late round pick. A fourth round pick in 2027. Man, how you feeling about Rashan Gary going to the Cowboys?
Well, you reuniting with your old brother Kenny Clark, which is nice. So, I mean, it ain't a bad trade because you got him for a fourth round pick. I think Rashan Gary still got some quality game in him. I've been watching him since Michigan, so. And of course, with him being a Packer, we always got an upper coast advantage of these players, and he can be a player that when he's on, he's on. And next to Kenny Clark, we've seen the damage he's caused, especially in the running game and in the passing game when they was at their best. So for only getting the eighth, getting him for a fourth round pick, he doesn't necessarily have too much of an injury history that I remember. But I like the move, in my opinion. I think that's something Dallas been needing. Everybody knows, even with Michael Parsons, it was much more to be wanted on that defensive side of the ball. And adding 2 D tackles that can get the job done is a part of it. And he did it in a pretty decent way, especially getting Rashon in a fourth round pick. So I ain't too mad about it. He get out of our division. I was tired of dealing with his ass anyway. So it's cool.
For sure, I think it's good for the Cowboys, man. Now they're going to get another guy that can rush the passer for him, and it seems like they building out a solid defense, at least that is looked like early on. Still got a bunch of moves to make. You definitely got Kenny Clark. You definitely got Quentin Williams. You got Rashon, who's going to be hopefully be more healthier this season. Now you get Rashan Gary, who has some relationship with the new DC over there in Dallas. So that's a good move for them. And he's due to make 18 million this year. And I think that's solid. That's not giving up the full bank for him. And I think that my biggest concern, Steve-O, is that last year he went 9 games without a sack. Now, is that something I believe that's gonna happen, moving forward? No, not 9 straight games, but I think it was a change of scenery. It seems like the Green Bay Packers are making moves to their linebacker group, and they're trying to reshape some stuff and get some money back in their pockets from having to pay Jordan Love and Michael Parsons a bunch of money. And I think they're trying to revamp some stuff over there. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not mad with the move. How many more moves do you expect the Dallas Cowboys to make on defense, though? At least during free agency, because I know the draft, they got to
maybe one more.
Okay.
Maybe one big one that's been rumored around.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Yeah, and that's that one big one. It might be Trey Hendrickson. I'm just saying, Trey Hendrickson to the Dallas Cowboys on the defensive line.
That'd be a perfect way to solidify your D line, in my opinion.
For sure. That'd be
a perfect monster. You got 3 monster D tackles, one being Rashon, who can play in and out. So I like it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that at all. Now, this move I didn't really see coming with 2 divisional rivals trading with one another. You got the Miami Dolphins agreeing to send safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to the New York Jets in exchange for the team's 2026 7th round pick. So they get Minkah Fitzpatrick
bro.
for a 7th-round pick.
Nah,
To
see,
me, let me
go
know what
ahead,
you
go ahead.
think, bro. Because
No,
I think
I was gonna say, bro, when it first dropped, I was like, damn, why we wasn't in the conversation? A 7th-round pick, it dropped. He signed the extension. I was like, oh, okay, makes sense.
yeah.
And that changed everything. Getting 40 mil, we wasn't doing that. But I mean, for the love of the money.
That's all you got to chalk it up to, right? It's just for the love of the money. But Minkah Fitzpatrick still has a lot of game
He
left, in my
does.
personal opinion. He's a guy that you can have at the safety spot, a guy that you can drop down in the box to come out there and be a physical tackler from the defensive backfield. I think that's a good move for the New York Jets. They got a lot of shit to do. They got to get right over there in New York, bro. Bro, correct me if I'm wrong, but the New York Jets went the entire season without an interception last year, correct?
I believe so.
That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous considering that their head coach, Aaron Glenn, is a defensive back himself. That shit nuts.
I mean,
That's crazy.
it makes sense when he's sleeping on the job. The
Yeah.
quarterbacks will sleep on the job too.
That
It
is
is what it is.
crazy. Do you think that Minkah Fitzpatrick deal is a valuable deal though? Because it's only 3 year, 40 million.
I mean, it's a quality player for a team that ain't good. So it ain't. I mean, the only way I like the question itself, I just can't answer it because it's the Jets.
Right.
If it was like any other team where money really matters, money don't matter what they ask right now.
Understood. Because they definitely need as many good players as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After getting rid of Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, the Jets, they got a lot
But
of
you
work
would
to do.
think they would want to get younger. They got older.
They did, at least in that spot. And I
Yeah.
think that on the offensive side, you look at the offensive line of the Jets, they pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? They pretty decent. They got some players over there on the offensive line. You got the Taylor kid that's a tight end, and you still got Garrett Wilson. Their biggest problem has continuously been quarterback, and they can't figure it out. They hung their head on Justin Fields. I thought Justin Fields was at least gonna give them something after that first game versus the Steelers, but it was baller. Then after that, it was like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Ghost.
So,
It always feels like someone's watching me. That's how he play. I ain't gonna lie.
hey, my man J2G said, if I'm Minkah Fitzpatrick, I'm pissed. How you feeling if you?
I don't think he pissed because he signed the extension. You can't be pissed.
I agree with that.
If this is a simple trade and nothing else happened, I'm pissed. Especially for a 7th-round pick. You got a 7th-round pick, and he got paid pretty handsomely on that. In my opinion, that's all orchestrated by Minkah. That's I wanted to go to the Jets.
Pretty much. That's what it sounded like he wanted to do. And he gonna go over there and play some good football. But it's they got so much work to do over there in New York, bro, to see themselves at least compete. And right now they still behind. They still behind, just like the Dolphins are behind right now because the Dolphins just cut Tua. So they got to figure out QB stuff. Now the thing is can you convince one of these free agents to come to your organization? I don't know. I don't know. Bro, over the offseason, before they even signed people to the staff, after gutting the whole entire staff after 1 year, before signing new people, there was a rumor that came out that said that Aaron Glenn wants to run one thing while the owner wants to run another. Bro, you just the owner. Stay in your lane. I know you pay. I know you give out the checks, but there's a way that you got to let the football people do football stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Simple as that. And they're not doing it. And that's my thing. A lot of people want to try to chalk up as owners not being important. Like I said, when your whole organization, you could tell organizations that's on one accord.
Yep.
And it's important to be on one accord because you don't want these little knick-knack arguments can transform into things expanding to be bigger problems.
That's a fact. Because how you let this man come in and say, this is the type of defense I expect us to run. You ever called a defense in your life? No.
And they run a piece of it. They're kind of run that defense.
This ain't pee-wee football. We don't even know if you play pee-wee. But obviously the things that you've been doing for the last few years ain't working. So what are we talking about here?
Ain't working at all.
My man's Chris Gray came in. He said Chicago got the hardest schedule and the Bears are sitting on their hands. How you feel about that, Steve-O?
Tell you right now, I told y'all this before. I don't expect us to be this noisy because once again, we've been telling y'all about swinging a bat too early. And not only that, we're seeing it in our own division, the repercussions of swinging too early in the Detroit Lions. They don't look kind of like the same team like they once were. And it started with what, Bobby?
Taking care of the money, cap space. So, yeah, you got to take care of the buddy. When Ryan Post entered the organization for the Chicago Bears, he took care of the money because there was a bunch of bad contracts. You didn't have a bunch of draft capital because Ryan Pace wanted to trade everything under the sun for older players. And this team right now, they're seeing the last two Super Bowl champions go out there with young defenses that were fast and disciplined. And they're going to give themselves an opportunity to kind of replicate that formula per se, probably in their own light, but they're going to go out there and do things their way. And I think that when he came out, Ryan Post, that is, at the combine and said that the Chicago Bears want to get faster and they want to get better on younger on defense. I don't expect them to go out there and make crazy moves. Now, if they do go get Trey Hendrickson, look, as a Bears fan myself, I'm going to be like that. But if they don't get him, I'm not going to go out there and castigate the organization because they have a plan in place. And I'd rather them stick to the plan than go out there and overpay for somebody, i.e. Dio and Dingbo. That's a contract we need to get off of. Did I like the Grady Jarrett sign? Hell yeah, I did. And he came on later at the end of the season, but it's just not good enough right now for the sake of the Bears defense. And they got a lot of things to fix.
Yep. And I told y'all, I think the whole mindset shifted once your center fucking retired.
Yep.
On top of your left tackle not going to be back at day one.
My man Jacob Pone said F Green Bay. They got fleeced by Jerry. But Jerry gave up a fourth.
Fourth ain't bad.
It's decent. Now, if he would have gave up a second or a third, I think it would have been a bigger hit. But I think the Cowboys are trying to move up, man. They still got a lot of things to figure out.
7.5 sacks for the last 2 years, like 20 tackles. Yeah, that's about fourth round pick. At 28 years old.
Yeah, 28 years old, not making crazy amount of money. So you can go out there and still try to go and snatch up a Trey Hendrickson if you want to. I think that's something that the Dallas Cowboys can entertain.
Definitely feasible.
Because if they add a Trey Hendrickson to that defensive line, they're gonna be humming. And they still held on to their draft capital because they didn't trade for Max Crosby. So I think that's a good thing for the Dallas Cowboys because the offense is that one thing Jerry know how to do is find offensive linemen. It's one thing you know how to do. Offensive lineman has always been good in Dallas. Yeah, they might drop off a little bit, but they never had the moniker of being the worst offensive lineman or offensive line in the NFL. We never really heard that come out of Dallas. The problem is that he always in the way. You need to shut the hell up after games and stuff and stop scolding your team. Just sit back, let Shoddy go out there and talk to the media, and you sit in the background, bro, and let them players play. Steve-O, do you think George Pickens get a deal done before the end of free agency, or you think that's something that's going to come towards the end of the season, closer to the start of the season because Jerry wanted to play out?
Yeah. I don't think like I've been saying, I don't think they're in a rush to pay him.
Yeah. I think they're trying to figure out some more stuff. So we're going to see what's to it, man. We're going to definitely see what's to it, but it's already off to a hot start, man, before NFL free agency, the tampering period officially kick off in just 2 hours, man. But hey, this is what we got right here, man. Number of moves. Sante Samuel Jr. getting re-signed. You see Bears re-signed DeMarco Jackson. You seen Rashan Gary get traded. You seen Miami Dolphins cut Tua, then trade Minkah Fitzpatrick. It's been a lot of different moves going on around the league. We ain't even talking about Max Crosby that happened before the weekend. We're talking about a number of different things that have transpired over the last few days, man, and we just getting started. So y'all make sure y'all lock in, hit that like button, and subscribe, bro. Steve-O, you got anything left?
Nope.
Nothing else, man.
Until further notice.
No, the real. Until further notice. We'll be back as soon as another one pop off, man. For y'all that's joining us, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. It's going to be a busy day. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football. Y'all already know, man. We're going to catch y'all on the next one, for sure.
This has